Starting the YouTube. Just a minute. Starting the YouTube. Just हरिः ओं श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः ब्रह्मं मङ्गरहितम् अजडं विमलं सदा आनन्दतीर्थमतलं भजेतापत्रयापहं नित्यासिद्धान्तदुद्ध्वान्त विध्वंसनविष्णुः जयतीर्थाकितनिर्भासतां नोहदम्बरे अत्तिकृतकल्पोऽयं प्रत्यत्यकेसरी व्यासतीर्थगुरुभूयाद् अस्मदिष्टातिसिते तपोविद्याविरक्त्यादि सद्गुणौकाकराः वादिराजगुरून्देहिकपदाश्रयान् पूज्याय राघवेन्द्राय सिद्धर्मराय च भजतां कल्पवृक्षाय नमतां कामधेनवे दुर्वाय ध्वान्तरवे वैष्णवेन्दीवरेन्दवे श्रीराघवेन्द्रगुरुवे नमोऽत्यन्त्याळवे आपादमुडिपर्यन्तं गुरूणामात्मने तेन विघ्नाः प्रणश्यन्ति ಸಿದ್ಧಿಂತ ಮನೋರಥ ಹರಿ ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ ಋಷಿ ದೇವತಾ ಛಂದಸ್ಸು ಹೇಳಿ ಶುರು ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಸ್ಯ ಶ್ರೀ ವಿಷ್ಣು ದಿವ್ಯ ಸಹಸ್ರನಾಮ ಸ್ತೋತ್ರ ಮಹಾಮಂತ್ರಸ್ಯ ಶ್ರೀ ವೇದವ್ಯಾಸೋ ಭಗವಾನ್ ಋಷಿ ಅನುಷ್ಠುಪ್ತಂದ ಶ್ರೀ ಮಹಾವಿಷ್ಣು ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಶ್ರೀಮನ್ನಾರಾಯಣ ದೇವತಾ ಶ್ರೀ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀನಾರಾಯಣ ಪ್ರಸಾದ ಸಿದ್ಧತೆ ಓಂ ನಮೋ ಭಗವತೆ ವಾಸುದೇವಾಯ ಓಂ ವಿಶ್ವಾಯ ನಮಃ ಓಂ ವಿಶ್ವಂ ವಿಷ್ಣುರ್ವಷಟ್ಕಾರೋ ಭೂತಭವ್ಯ ಭವತ್ಪ್ರಭು ಭೂತಕೃತ್ ಭೂತೋದ್ಭಾವೋ ಭೂತಾತ್ಮ ಭೂತಭಾವನಃ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಿ ಕಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಅಜೋ ದುರ್ಮರ್ಶನ ಸೊ here vasur vasumana satya samatma samita samaha amoha pundarikaksho vishakarma vishakuthi there we talked about the amoha and then we are talking about the pundarikaksha. This word pundarikaksha, we talked about the some of the meanings, and in that last class we saw atha ya yesho antaraditye hiranmayah purusho drishyate sarvayev सुवर्णस्तस्य यथा कप्यासं पुण्डरीकम् एवम् अक्षिणी तस्योदिति नाम. So here, Pundarikaksha, he has the eyes like Pundarika. And there, actually an expression is used in Chandogya Upanishad. Kapyasam Pundarikam evam Akshini tasyoditi nama. The Kapyasam, some of the people, they gave the kapi asam like that, the bottom of the monkey and like that. But the good meaning is ka is like water. Kapi is like pibati, kam pibati, the drinking of the water. That means the sun through the rays takes the water. The water is evaporated, it forms the clouds and gives back in the form of the rain. So tasya uditi nama. So when the sun freshly rising, light red color will be there. Like that, Paramatma's beautiful eyes are having that kind of a nice, wonderful golden color. This is a description of Paramatma. And as we talked about, the comparison is given with the lotus flower and all this. But the lotus flower, eventually someday, it becomes, kind of body hogodu. So it becomes stale and whatever it gets dried up. But Paramatma is permanent. Eternally, his eyes beautiful. And also aprakruta, because the lotus flower is made of prakriti nirmita, but Paramatma's eyes, Paramatma's rupa, everything is aprakruta, not prakriti nirmita. So that's why he is called this Pundarikaksha, the special way of describing Paramatma. And then there's another meaning for Pundarika is the name of Agni. The Agni Pavaka is also one of the names is Pundarika Namanam Agnim. So basically, in Chandogya it says, Ya Yesho Antarakshini Purusho Drishyate Tasya Etasya Tadeva Rupam Yad Amushya Rupam. There he says, Acharya says in the Bhashya, Kapyasa Rakta Padmakshaha Suryagaha Cha Akshigaha Saha. And he gives that explanation. And after that also he says, Pundariko Agnihi Saeva Akshi Trutiyam Yasya Nrusimhasya Saha. So basically, as you all know, Rudra is known as Trinayana, three eyes, like Surya, Chandra, and the middle eye is Agni himself is there. This kind of a Trinayana Lakshana is there for Rudra. and he is very famous for that. And Rudra Antargata Rupa. Two forms are there, Rudra Antargata Rupas. One is Sankarshana Rupi Paramatma. Another is Narasimha or Nrusimha. Narasimha and Nrusimha are Samanartaka. People will lot of times, say whether it should be Nrusimha or Narasimha. Both are correct only. And sometimes, for the sake of Chandas meter, Nrusimha or Narasimha are used. So we have to give importance to Chandas and use exactly as Nrusimha or Narasimha depending upon the requirement, the Chando requirement. But this Nrusimha Rupi Paramatma is the one who actually originally has this Trinayana Lakshana. As you all know, we heard Surya Chandrausa Netre Yasya. So Paramatma's eyes, Surya Chandras, are taking ashraya. It's not that Surya and Chandra are physically the eyes of Paramatma. They are, Surya and Chandra came out of the eyes of the Paramatma. Their existence, that means whenever the different devatas come into the creation, they become the Abhimani devatas. The Abhimanitva is given by Paramatma to these jivas. So Surya, Chandra, both of them are the two eyes of Paramatma, means they are taking the ashraya or the seeking the refuge in the eyes of the Paramatma. Surya, Chandra, Uchanetra, this is the success. So, and that third eye of Paramatma, Murne Kandan, that is Agni. Pundarika Nama Agni. So Pundarika Agnihi sa eva akshitutiyam yasya Nrusimhasya. Narasimha or Nrusimha Rupi Paramatma has Pundarika Nama Agni. Pundarika is also means Agni, another name, another definition for Agni. Why Agni is called Pundarika? Pundarika is symbolic of Pavakatva, Pavitratva. It purifies. So it is purity, symbolism of purity. And Agni has this Lakshana of purity, Pavaka. That's why Agni is called Pavaka. And in Agni, Vayudeva is present as Pavamana. So Pavamana and Pavaka are, that's why even Vayudeva is called Agni Swarupa. In one way, Vayudeva is also called Agni Swarupa, means he is as Antaryami of Agni, gives the Lakshana of the Agni to Agni. Agni himself gets that capability from the Vayudeva, Mukhya Prana himself. So Mukhya Prana, Pranagni, that's why he called Pranagni. And the Pranagni Lakshana is also exhibited in the avatars as Hanumanta. When he took the avatar of Hanumanta, he burnt the Ashokavana through his Balagni. So, to his tail, they put the Agni, using that, added his tejas to that. Because the Agni Deva was afraid of Ravana. Ravana will be upset with Agni if he burns any of his possessions. But when Agni gets the support from the tejas of Anjaneya, he is fearless. Anjaneya is supporting me. So he is freely burns the palace and so many things of Ravana. So that's why Agni is called Pavaka, because he Pavitrikarana Shakti is there. He burns things, even impurities get burnt away. So he is purifier. Agni is purifier. That's why Pundarika is another name for Agni, and Pundarika Agni. And Agni, this Pundarika Nama Agni is the eye of the third eye of Narasimha. That's why Narasimha is also conceived, or Dhyana is done. Dhyana Rupa is Trinayanatva. Narasimha also three eyes, Surya, Chandra, and Pundarika Nama Agni. These three are the eyes of Narasimha, and because he is inside like that, Rudradeva gets as a Pratibimba. He gets the three eye Lakshana from Narasimha. It's not Narasimha getting three eye Lakshana from Rudra. It's Rudra getting the three eye Lakshana from Narasimha. And that is why Trinayana is also Prasiddha Nama. So as a Trinayana, Prasiddha Nama is for Rudra. Yaugika Nama is for Narasimha. He is, so that's why Narasimha Avatara, Agni, the third eye of Paramatma, he is called Pundarikaksha for that reason. And another way is like Agni, he has the eyes like Agni, Pundarika Agni. So Pundarika Iva Agni Rivakshi, one whose eyes are like Agni. So Agni itself, his third eye is one thing. And Agni like eyes. In Narasimhavatara, Bhagavanta, which is Krodha or Kopa. The Krodha of Paramatma is different from the Krodha of ours. In what way? We get angry because we become helpless or something we cannot do, we get angry. Our helplessness results in our anger. Paramatma never has helplessness. Whatever he thinks, it happens. So why does Narasimha show his anger? Because no, you see that no, Narasimha is angry. Look is there. So does he become helpless? Is the anger of Paramatma because of his helplessness? If we ask the question, no, it's meaningless because Paramatma never helpless. Then why does he show anger? The reason Paramatma shows anger is totally different reason. It's nothing to do with helplessness, but it is to create the fear in the minds of the evil people. Now he killed Hiranyakashipu. There are so many other followers of Hiranyakashipu, his assistants, his army, so many. They also have to be taught a lesson. They have to be frightened. The Narasimharu Paramatma has to create fear in them. So he exhibits, shows this Krodha Swarupa. So it is an exhibition. It's only a showing. He doesn't become helplessly anger, but he becomes proactively anger to create the fear in the evil people. One thing. Second thing, Prahalada is very dear devotee. Hiranyakashipu did so much, tried to do harm Prahalada. Of course, he couldn't harm Prahalada at all, but he made an effort to harm Prahalada, his such a dear devotee. So Paramatma shows anger to say, hey, I do not put up with your nonsense. I punish you. So this to show that message, to give that message, he shows this anger. So it is actually a showing anger only, but not becoming a helpless anger. So, and not only that, this is described by Acharya in Nakastuti. Yad droshotkara dakshanetra kutila prantotitagnispurat khadyotopama vispulinga bhashita brahmesha shakrotkara brahma isha shakra utkara brahmadeva rudradeva indradeva, all this at pralaya time. Paramatma, after making Ruddradeva do the Samhara Karya, Ruddradeva does the Samhara of all the things that are under his control. But once above him are Brahma and Vayudeva, they are all above him. So Rudra does not do anything to them. But Paramatma has to take away the physical body of Rudra, Brahma, and Vayu. Everybody's physical body also Paramatma takes out at the Pralayakara, Mahapralaya. And that's why it says Brahma, Isha, Shakra, Utkara. The great ones like Brahma, Rudra, Indra, all the because the other devatas also, like Indra, the devatas, they're much below Rudra Deva. But the way it happens to them is they do pravesha into one into the other. And like for example, Indra, he enters the Garuda and Garuda enters the Brahma. Like that, Kama, he enters the Sesha and the Sesha enters the Brahma. Like that, they enter one into the other and eventually they go to come out of that. So when they become the Mukti Yogyas, they completely go into, no, they go into the Vaikuntapura Vasa. They go liberated and the next ones come into the picture and Vayu becomes Brahma and all that happens. And that in that context, Acharya says, just from the right eye, end from the tip, Agni is pulling us. That means the fire sparks, they come out. And Khadyota Upama Vispulinga Bhasita. They're just like Khadyota means, like a sun also. Like a sun is so powerful and thing, and that Vispulingas, the sparks of fire from his right eye, they are capable of burning down the bodies of Brahma, Rudra, and Indra. Even they get burned from. That means basically Paramatma take out their physical bodies and they get into Of course, even in the Mahapralaya, they are like that. Nothing, they never have the Tirodhana or whatever. So, and there's a different topic, but that is how it is described. Pundarikam Agnim Akshnoti Vyapnoti Pundarikaksha. So, Pundarika Nama Agni, in that Paramatma pervades, and that reason also is called Pundarikaksha. And another reason is Vasunam Pavakaschasmi in Krishna in Vibhuti Yoga in Gita, he says among Vasus, he is Agni, Pavakaha cha Asmi Vasunam. So he among Vasus, he is giving a special Vibhuti Shakti to Agni, and that's why he is called Pundarika Aksha. That means Akshnoti Vyapnoti. He pervades the Agni, and that's why it's called Pundarikaksha. Another meaning is this is a Rishi by name Pundarika, and on him Aksha Drushti. He gives, that means he has a compassion. Pundarika Namaka Munau Akshi Krupa Drushti Yasya iti. Whose Krupa Drushti is on the Rishi of Pundarika is called Pundarikaksha. So for that reason also, Paramatma is called Pundarikaksha. So like this, the word Pundarikaksha has various meanings, and these are only like a sample of the meanings. But not only there can be other meanings, in even for these meanings to enhance in Upanishad Vakyas or Shruti, Smruti Vakyas, we hear this, for example, Apavitra Pavitrova, Sarvavastham Gadopava, Yasmaret Pundarikaksham, Sabahya Suchihi. This sloka we tell when we want to purify in the puja time. We do say that Ati Neela Ghanashyamam Narinayatalocanam Smarami Pundarikaksham Tena Snato Bhavamyaham. So mantra snana, for doing the mantra snana, suppose we are very sick, we are not able to take bath. The easy ways are given. So we can do mantra snana. And this is the, take a little bit of water in the Uddharini and say Pundarikaksha, Pundarikaksha, and do the prokshana for ourselves. We get purified. This is called mantra snana. So this kind of mantra snana is used. So these are the various instances where the Pundarikaksha Shabda Paramatma is used to purify ourselves. And uh, so many other places also, like in Puranas, we come across so many places people, other devatas address Narayana as Pundarika, Hey Pundarikaksha, Hey Pundarikaksha. Like this way, they do stotra of Paramatma. And while doing the stotra, they use this addressing Pundarikaksha. And when we do this dhyana, Pundarikaksha Rupa Paramatma, we can think of any form of Paramatma, but as one who is going to purify us, Pavitranam Pavitram. So he purifies us, and that with that intention, we do the Nama, Rupa, Guna, Kriya, Anusandhana. Guna purifying process. The Kriya is actually purifying us. And Nama Rupa, Pundarikaksha is the Nama, and the Rupa, we can think of any Rupa, Chaturbhuja Rupa, Narayan Rupa, whatever Rupa we think. In that form, Paramatma is purifying us. With this Anusandhana, Manana Kriya, it helps us to think of the Paramatma. So whenever we do the Vishnu Sahasranama, when this Pundarikaksha comes, we think of this way of a little bit of Anusandhana, Arthanusandhana, that will help us to enjoy the Sahasranama. Hare Srinivasa. Any questions are there? You can ask me. Hare Srinivasa.
ಹರೇ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ ರೀ, ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ರೀ.
Namaskar.
ಈಗ ಈಗ ನರಸಿಂಹದೇವ್ರ
Yes.
ಕಣ್ಣಿನೊಳಗೆ
ಹಾ.
ಪುಂಡರೀಕಾಗ್ನಿ ಅದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ,
ಹಾ.
ಈಗ ಯಾಕದು ಅಷ್ಟು ನನಗ
ಹ್ಮ್.
ತಿಳಿದಂಗ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರ
ಹ್ಮ್.
ಅಗ್ನಿ, ನರಸಿಂಹದೇವ್ರ ಕಣ್ಣಾಗ ಅಗ್ನಿ ಯಾಕಬೇಕು? ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನೇ ಇದ್ದಾನಲ್ಲ.
ಈಗ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನಿಗೂ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನ ಅವಯವಗಳಿಗೂ ಅಭೇದ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸ್ವಗತ
ಹ್ಮ್
ಭೇದ ವಿವರ್ಜಿತ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಹೌದು, ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನೇ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಆದರೆ ಅಗ್ನಿ ಯಾಕಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಅಗ್ನಿಗೆ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಆಶ್ರಯಭೂತನಾಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅಗ್ನಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಆಶ್ರಯ ಬೇಕು, ಇರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾಗ ಬೇಕು. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನ ಕಣ್ಣಿನ ಒಳಗೆ ನೆಲೆಸಿರುವಂತಹ ಅಗ್ನಿಗೆ, ಪುಂಡರೀಕ ನಾಮ ಅಗ್ನಿಗೆ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಆಶ್ರಯಭೂತನಾಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಯಾಕಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನಿಗಾಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಅಗ್ನಿಗಾಗಿ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅಗ್ನಿ ಅಂದರೆ ತನ್ನ ಕಣ್ಣು ಒಳಗೆ ಅಗ್ನಿಗೆ ಆಶ್ರಯ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಭಗವಂತ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅಗ್ನಿಗೆ ಆಶ್ರಯ ಬೇಕು ಭಗವಂತನ ಕಣ್ಣಿನಲ್ಲಿ, ಹೇಗಾದರೆ ಕಿವಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಚಂದ್ರನಿಗೆ ಆಶ್ರಯ, ಹೀಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಅವಯವಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಭಗವಂತನಿಗೆ ಭಗವಂತನ ಅವಯವಗಳಿಗೆ ಅಭೇದ. ಹೌದು, ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದಂಗೆ ಕಣ್ಣಿನಲ್ಲೇ ಭಗವಂತನೂ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ತಾನೇ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ? ತನ್ನ ಕಣ್ಣು ಒಳಗೆ ಅಗ್ನಿಗೆ ಆಶ್ರಯವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಆ ಅಗ್ನಿ ಒಳಗೆ ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತನಾಗಿ ತಾನು ಆ ಹೆಸರಿನಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ತನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ತಾನೇ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ನಿಜ. ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನ ಕಣ್ಣಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನೇ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಆದರೆ ತಾನಿರುವಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಅಗ್ನಿಗೆ ಆಶ್ರಯ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಆ ಅಗ್ನಿ ಒಳಗೆ ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತನಾಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾನೆ.
ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಇದು ಪುಂಡರೀಕ ನಾಮಕ ಮನೋ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ,
ಹ.
ಈ ದಾಸರ ಹಾಡಿನಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತದಲ್ಲ ಪುಂಡರೀಕ ವರದ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಮುನಿ ಹೆಸರೇನು?
ಹ್ಮ್.
ಪಂಡ್ರಪುರದ ವಿಠ್ಠಲನ ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಬರೋದು ಪುಂಡರೀಕ, ಅವನು ಬೇರೆ, ಇದು ಈ ಮುನಿಗಳು ಬೇರೆ ಅಂತ.
ಇದು ಬೇರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವ ಪುಂಡರೀಕ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಆ ಒಂದು ಭಕ್ತನ ಹೆಸರು ಪುಂಡರೀಕ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಪುಂಡರೀಕ ಅನ್ನುವ ಮುನಿ ಒಬ್ಬನಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಇವರು ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಬಹಳ ಜನ ಈ ಹೆಸರು, ಈಗ ನಾರಾಯಣ ಅಂದರೆ ಬಹಳ ಜನ ನಾರಾಯಣ ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರು ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೋದು. ಹಾಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಅವರು ಈ ಪುಂಡರೀಕ ವರದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಂಡುರಂಗ ವಿಠಲ ಪಂಢರಪುರದಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಪುಂಡರೀಕ ಅನ್ನುವ ಭಕ್ತನಿಯನ್ನು ಒಲಿದಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಭಗವಂತ. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ಪುಂಡರೀಕ ಅನ್ನುವ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಋಷಿಯೂ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಅವರು ಆ ಹೆಸರಿನಿಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಭಗವಂತನನ್ನು ನಾವು ಚಿಂತನೆ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಪುಂಡರೀಕ ಅನ್ನುವ ಭಕ್ತನಿಗೂ ವರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಪುಂಡರೀಕ ವರದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಪುಂಡರೀಕ ಅನ್ನುವ ಭಕ್ತನಿಗೂ ವರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಪುಂಡರೀಕ ಅನ್ನುವ ಋಷಿಗೂ ವರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಭಗವಂತ, ಕೃಪಾದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ನೋಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಹೀಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಅವರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪುಂಡರೀಕ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅದು ಬೇರೆ, ಇದು ಬೇರೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ ಭಗವಂತ ಅನುಗ್ರಹ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ.
ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಪುಂಡರೀಕ ಅನ್ನೋ ಮುನಿ ಅಂತ ನನ್ಗ
ಅದೇ
ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ.
ಅದು
ಪುಂಡರೀಕ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ
ಅದೇ ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಪ್ರಸಂಗ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಬಟ್ ಒಬ್ಬ ಋಷಿಯೂ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಪುಂಡರೀಕ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಬ್ಬ ಋಷಿ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅದು
ಹಾ.
ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನು ಪ್ರಸಂಗ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನಾನು ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನೋಡಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ.
ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ರೀ. ಹರೇ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ.
ಹರೇ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ ರೀ, ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ಹರೇ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ, ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ರೀ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.